Okay, welcome to this module around adaptive behaviour. So for the next 6 weeks, we're going to cover some tips and tools and techniques around adaptive behaviour. Today what I'm going to cover is what is adaptive behaviour, why do we need to have it, I'm going to give you a bit of sense of what we're going to cover over the 6 weeks and also give you an activity to focus on for the week. Okay, so first of all, what is adaptive behaviour? Look, we define it as the ability to be flexible in your approach to how you respond to things. You might hear people talk about adaptive behaviour or flexible behaviour or even agile behaviour. So all of those words effectively get used interchangeably to really describe our ability to respond differently to different situations and our ability to say, actually here I need to try something a little bit different to the way I've done it in the past. So the idea is at the end of the 6 weeks that you'll really be able to think about the power you have with your mind to make the right choices for you, perhaps some different ways that you can actually adapt your behaviour, the ability to start to recognise obstacles or where you're making judgments about situations, and being able to really flex your behaviour as you go. So why do we need adaptive behaviour? Look, you've probably heard it. Our workplace is changing. Our world is changing. Lots of things are changing around us. If you think about some great little examples of the change that we've actually already been through and actually had to adapt our behaviours around, we share our work and our resumes on LinkedIn. We write blogs and share with people online about that. We build communities and connect with people on Facebook. We build communities and connect with people even playing games. There's some great stories about people that have met really great friends just through playing games internationally online. We find information that we're looking for instantly with Google, so we don't have to go back to, some of you may not even remember, but the days of Encyclopedia Britannica and things like that. So there's actually heaps of different ways that you've already been adapting to the changes in the world. And at work, even in the lifetime of particularly some of us that have been around, we've gone from banking days, for example, where everything was done by paper, to now everything's on systems and emails and CRM systems and all sorts of things. So the reality is we've actually been adapting quite a bit already, and we're in this pace of change that's just incredible at the moment, right? People are calling it the fourth industrial revolution. So lots of different terms that get used to really just say we're going through a whole lot of change as a world and humanity at the moment, and that change is impacting our workplace. So already I've given you some examples of some things that you've actually already adapted. So actually already you actually know how to adapt, and it's just starting to recognise those things even can start to make us feel a lot more comfortable. The other thing that's quite different in our workplace as well is that we've got lots of generations working together. So it's the first time in our history we've effectively got 4 generations at the same time. So we've got our millennials, our Gen X, our boomers and our traditionalists all in the workplace at the same time, all with different values and different beliefs and different upbringings that have led to different behaviours in the workplace. And sometimes we find that we struggle actually understanding each other. Actually, I saw a really funny clip on Ellen DeGeneres talking about how to get millennials and Gen Xers to talk to each other. We've also had some really big stories of organisations that have completely changed and perhaps missed the moment to change. So the Kodak story, Nokia, so the Nokia got bought out by Microsoft. So there's some really big organisations that have had to change and not responded. So the need is really around to learn as individually to adapt, as business units to adapt, and as organisations to adapt to this pace of change. Yeah. So really in summary, things are changing. We know that. They're changing at an exponential rate. You're already managing it because you're already doing a whole lot of things differently today than you probably did a year ago, 10 years ago. The iPhone's been around 10 years. What did we do before the iPhone and the smartphones? So what I want you to do this week is I want you to start thinking about how adaptive are you? Let's take the generational one as an example. Capture down or maybe go have a conversation with someone of a different generation. What are the differences that you've noticed? How are you adjusting your behaviour? Sometimes in workplaces we can think as we get older, we kind of know because we've got all the experience and the younger people don't, but people of different generations have different things to offer. And so a great way to start learning to adapt your behaviour is interact with people from other generations and start to notice what's different about them. So take the time, talk to other people, see if you can really challenge yourself to come from and maybe apply some empathy and self-awareness in terms of your interactions with others, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.